Finally, in this lecture, we are also going to handle Mongoose validation errors. So if I go to VS Code, and here, if I go to hotel model, on each of these fields, we have added some validators. So for example, this name is a required field. In the same way, this description is also a required field. This type is also a required field, and it is expecting some enum value. So the type value can be anything between these 5 values. It cannot be anything else. And in the same way, we also have validation error on other fields. For example, this category is also required. Then this rating should have a minimum value of 0 and maximum value of 5. So these are the validations which we are adding on the fields of this hotel schema. Now, if I go to Postman, and there, let me go to create new hotel request. Okay, and here, if I don't specify a name here while creating a hotel document, since name is a required field, here, if I send this request, we are going to get a validation error. But since our application is currently running in production mode, if you see currently our application is running in production mode, here, this validation error which has occurred, it is not an operational error. And since it is not an operational error and our application is running in production mode, we are receiving this generic error message. Now, if I go back and if I change this environment to development, let's save the changes and let's rerun this application. So I'll stop the process and I'll start the process again. So now our application should be running in development mode. So Express server is up and running and connection to DB is also successful. Now let me go to Postman. And now if I send the request, we are going to get a detailed error message. So here you see the status is error, message is hotel validation failed, hotel name is required. And then you can also see an error object here. Now in this error object, you will notice that we have a property called errors. And this errors property of this error object, it is going to contain all the validation errors which has occurred. Currently, there is only one validation error which has occurred. So that has occurred on the name field, and the error message is hotel name is required. If I scroll down, we do not have any other validation error. Then this error object also have other properties, like it has a name property. So this name property specifies what type of error has occurred. Here, a validation error has occurred. And you can also see the status code, which is set to 500. And this status code we are setting from our application code. Basically, we are setting that status code here. So we are setting the status code and the status. So that's why we have the status code and the status on this error object. But here we are mainly interested in two properties, this name property and this errors property. So this errors property is going to store all the validation errors which has occurred. If I go ahead and if I specify a type which is not among the enum values, for example, test, in this case also we will have a validation error. So now on this hotel document, we will have two validation errors. First on the name field and second on the type field. If I send the request, we have received the validation error, and now you will notice that this errors property of this error object, now it contains two properties. The name property on which the validation error has occurred, and then the type property also, and on this property also. So basically on this type property also a validation error has occurred. And here you can see the validation error message which says the provided hotel type is not valid. If I introduce one more validation error, let's say on the ratings field, and here if I say that the rating should be 10, now we know that the ratings value cannot be greater than 5. So in this case also a validation error will occur. If I go back here on the ratings, we have set the maximum value as 5. So we are specifying a value greater than 5. And in that case, again, a validation error will occur. So if I send the request, you will see that now this errors object, it has three properties. The name property on which the validation error has occurred, the type property on which the validation error has occurred, and the ratings property on which the validation error has occurred. Okay. So we are going to handle these validation errors by making this validation error as is operational error, and we want to send a user-friendly error message to the user so that he can rectify these errors. For that, let's go to VS Code. And first of all, what I'm going to do is here I'm going to specify some validation error messages, some custom validation error message. So here I'll say ratings cannot be less than 0. Okay. In the same way, let me copy this error message and let me wrap this value also within square brackets. And here I'll say ratings cannot be more than 5. Okay. Let me save the changes here. Here, if you want, you can give more meaningful error messages, but I'm fine with this. So let's save the changes here. And let's now again go to errorController.js. And here again, I'm going to write another if statement in order to handle validation errors. And here I'm going to say if error.name. So we saw that when there is a validation error, that error will have a name property. If I go back to Postman, this error, it will have a name property. So here we have the name property. And this name property of the error object stores what type of error has occurred. So in this case, if validation error has occurred. So we are going to use this name in our code. And when there is a validation error, we are going to call a function. So first of all, here I'll say app error equals, and here I'm going to create another function, handle validation error. Okay, and to this function, we are going to pass the error object. So let me copy this error object and let's pass it here. And now let's go ahead and let's create this function. So I'll copy this function name. Let's scroll a little bit up, and here let's create that function. And this function is also going to receive the error object. Okay. Now from here also, we are simply going to return an instance of app error. Okay. And for that, let me go and let me create a variable here. I'll call it as message, and let's pass this message as the first argument. And for the status code, again, we are going to pass 400 because again, with the request, the client has passed some invalid data. So with the request, we are receiving some bad data. And in that case, from the server, we send a bad request response. And for the bad request response, the status code is 400. All right, now let's go ahead and let's create this message. So for that, if you see on a schema, we can have multiple validation errors. And we need to handle all those validation errors at once. So what we are going to do is from this error object, we are going to read its errors property. Basically here what I want is from this errors object, I want to get all the values of this errors. So this is an object. Here we will have key value pairs. The property name will be the key, and for that key there will be some value. Now I'm not interested in property names. Here the property name will be this name or this type and this rating. So these are the three properties currently we have on this errors object. But I'm not interested in properties. I'm interested in the value of these properties. And to just get the property values of an object, in JavaScript, we have a very useful method called Object.values. So here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a variable. I'll call it as errors. And to get all the values of the errors object, from this errors object, I'm going to use Object.values. And to this, we are going to pass error.errors. Right? So here, this error object has this errors property. And this error object is what is assigned to this error parameter. Now remember that this values method of this object, it is going to return us an array with all the values. So in that array, we will have this object as the first element we will have this object as the second element. Okay, and we will have this object as the third element. So on that array, I want to loop over. So for that, I'm going to use this map method. Basically, I want to loop over each element of that array, which contains the values from the errors object, and I want to transform them in some way. So here for each iteration, we are going to receive the value. I'm simply going to call it as value or maybe val. And what I want is from that val, remember that these values are basically going to be an object. So the first element will be this object, right? So this will be the first element. And from that object, I want to read its message property because this message property is going to store the error message. So I'm going to read that message property. So I'll say val.message, and what this map method is going to do is it is also going to return us an array, and in that array we will have all the error messages, all the validation error messages. So here 3 validation errors has occurred. So in that array we will have this error message as the first element, we will have this error message as the second element, and we will have this error message as the third element. Okay, so let's go back to VS Code again. So in this errors variable, it is going to store an array with all the validation error messages. And now what I'm going to do is here we are going to create this message variable, and there what I'm going to do is I'm going to join all the error messages into a single string which we have in this errors array. So this errors array is going to store all the error messages as its element. I'm going to join those error messages in a single string. And how do I want to join them? I want to join them with a dot and a space. Okay, and then let's finally go ahead and let's create an error message property, and here I'm going to use backticks, and here I'll simply say invalid input data. Okay, and after that I'm going to use template literal syntax, and inside that I'm going to pass this message. Okay, and now I'm going to pass this error message as the first argument to this app error constructor. Let's save the changes. And now let's just test this out. So let's save the changes. Currently our application is running in development mode. In the development mode, we are going to get the same error. So if I send the request, we're going to get the same error. But now let's change the environment to production. Let's save the changes here as well. Let's go to terminal, and let me stop the process by pressing Ctrl C, and let's restart the process. Now let's go back to Postman, and let's try to send this request again. Again, the validation errors will occur. So you can see the status code is 400 bad request, status is fail, and it says invalid input data. And you can see the concatenated error messages. So it says hotel name is required, the provided hotel type is not valid, and ratings cannot be more than 5. So this is the message which the end user is going to receive in the production environment. But in the development environment, the developer is going to receive a detailed error message. Okay, so in this way, now we are also handling the validation errors which can occur in our application. So all the validation errors will be handled, and the end user is going to receive a user-friendly error message. So now from our global error handling middleware, now we are handling all type of Mongoose errors which can occur. And in the production environment, we are handling them by sending a friendly error message to the end user. All right, so this is all I wanted to cover in this lecture. If you have any questions from this lecture, then feel free to ask it. Thank you for listening and have a great day.